Welcome, everyone, to the Chicago Clubhouse podcast. I will be hosting for us tonight. Fal couldn't get out of work. He's a busy man. Got a little bit of a short staff with us today, so bear with us. We'll see how everything goes. Got a few things to talk about still, though. We got the draft coming up. Free agency's been a little bit quiet these past few days, so we'll see if that starts picking up. We're still probably hoping we get that right tackle somewhere, left tackle, or we're going to be drafting. So, we'll be talking about the draft. We'll be talking a little bit of basketball too today. Maybe get JB going with some of his full court press because, those Bulls are playing well when it counts the most. But the question is it a little too late? We will find out on that one. Do a little hockey talk as well. It's a very interesting thing that Patrick Kane just bought a $2.3 million house in Illinois. I don't know why, unless he knows something we don't, because rumor is he does miss Chicago. So let's get it going.
You are now rocking with the Chicago Clubhouse podcast, where they think they know everything, but honestly, they don't know shit.
These summer league games and they tell you about these new up and coming coaches.
I think we should get rid of every motherfucking owner in Chicago.
Enzo and Caruso, both when they are on the court, are like your defensive generals.
But they need to get that strong safety who's not scared to hit somebody.
They really don't know shit.
All right, here we go. Let's just bring in the all-star team here. First guy we got up, we always got him first. He's the stat man, knows every stat. I don't know, probably from the 40s for all we know. I don't know too much that the guy doesn't know. So let's bring in JB.
All right, what up?
What about 40s? Can you give me some stats from the 40s, 50s?
40s? No.
Who's the Bears running back in the 40s? Anyway,
I can give you stats from the 40s.
Somebody like that.
I don't even introduce you easy. You just walk your ass up in here.
I heard stats from the 40s. That was when we won that championship against Washington, 73-0.
Yeah,
still a NFL record right there.
But there's
I do remember that.
They didn't keep half of the stats that we do now back then either. So
very true. Very true. I don't think they did.
Hey, Easy.
What's up, Easy? Hey, welcome to the clubhouse.
I'm a man who needs no introduction.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay, that's gonna next time you're in here, I'm literally gonna say that.
Perfect.
That is gonna be your new thing right there. He's like, he's got his own shit easy. He doesn't need any introduction, by the way.
Shout out to Morris here.
And shout out to everybody watching right now. We are having technical difficulties with Facebook, so we are not able to share today's show on Facebook. Hopefully it pops up soon. Don't know. We'll see how it goes, but still got them YouTubers. Gotta get them YouTubers. So how's everyone doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Just I'm really not. These are the dog days, right? The real slow days. That the first 2 days of free agency, everybody know that's like that's like the the place to be. But we can talk about something that is a little bit more pressing in the Bears locker room that we are starting to see unfold, right? We finally got a couple of veterans in there for some veteran presence. It isn't just a bunch of 1 and 2 year guys or some try-hard guys that may have been in the league 3-4 years, but didn't even play 3 games. So I'd like to say that we're starting to, have a strong veteran presence starting to show up. I mean, not like veterans, like 10, 12-year guys, but we got some 5 and 6 and 7-year guys in there that'll definitely help. So I'm excited. I like the way that our D line is finally filling out, and really, I'm gonna toss it up to you guys. What do you think the value at 9 is now? Because I saw a little interview. I wish we had it to play. That Ryan Poles suggested best available, not necessarily position, but best available. What do you guys think about that?
I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I mean, best available, that generally seems like the right strategy. You're drafting in the top 10, meaning you're going to get a top 10 college football player. Just throughout college football. And I think that's amazing. So you're going to want to get the best one on the board. Now, that being said, I wouldn't love to see them draft a receiver. I wouldn't love to see him draft, obviously not a quarterback. I think that's crazy. So I think best available, but it has to be like a need to some extent. I don't want to skip, quarterback, receiver, running back should not be drafted in the first round for the Bears this year.
Shouldn't be, period.
I really think the best O lineman or the best D lineman available is the best way to go. But if there's an amazing corner available, it'll be hard to pass that up, and I don't have an issue with that.
Nah.
I mean, safeties usually the best player wouldn't be available if he's a safety that early, but
not in this draft.
Not in this draft, right? I mean, I can't remember the first early, maybe Jamal Adams.
Well, you have to go back because definitely Jamal Adams, but you can go back when you have if you knew that there was an Reed type or a Troy Polamalu type, if you knew especially the value of the cover 2, the way that they're playing now, those safeties would be tops on your list first round for sure early.
Oh, no doubt. Well, I think Mike Brown was kind of that guy before he got hurt.
Oh, absolutely, Mike. So a lot of people may not have really watched Mike Brown, but Mike Brown was what created the honey badger type of player, right?
Yes, he walked so honey badger could run.
Yes, absolutely. So shout out to Mike Brown and what he's given to the position, not just the Bears. Would love to get that guy on and talk to him.
God.
Oh my God. That's a dream, honestly.
Just pick his brain, man, about football and just how important the safety position is, because old school safety position, not to say that it wasn't more cerebral, but you already knew, like the Ronnie Lotts, the Joey Browners, the Chuck Cecil, that was just separate man from ball. That was pretty much it, right? But then you started to get these real heady safeties and look at what has happened in the evolution of the safeties, from coming down in the box and making plays to safeties leading the NFL in interception. It's just, you saw a total shift of what the position
effectively playing positionless football too. Because safeties line up in the box, they see him line up in the box, you see him rush the passer, and then you also see him cover like crazy. So it's also Mike Brown, if we're talking stats, what he did in 2001, winning 2 straight games in overtime on 6. The odds of doing that, I'm pretty sure I ran the numbers once. It was 1 in a couple 100 billion. It's just that is so rare and impossible.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
You're telling me there's a chance? No, it was that 2001 season must have been a lot of fun.
That was
hey, we got Don in the chat.
That was one of the Bears, statistically better seasons defensively. And then that 2001 season, remember, that was not Lovie. A lot of people said Lovie Smith. No, that was Dick Geron. Ran that defense with Keith Traylor and Ted Washington and them boys. Quick question for you guys, Frank. I know we had talked a little draft before, but we never really dug a little deep into who we're going to get to. I was wondering, because Easy said best player available, possibly even a defensive back, specifically corner. Any love for Devin Witherspoon or Joey
that's
Porter?
The big one going around is Witherspoon. And I mean, that dude, he's a beast. Don't get me wrong. He really is a beast. And I agree in best available at a certain position of need, I don't know if I'm really putting a best available on secondary right now because they finished strong. When you desperately need a defensive end, desperately, so bad, somebody who's going to be able to put pressure on that quarterback. So if you did go, I'd love to have Weatherspoon because that guy is great in coverage and will light your ass up.
He is a tackling machine, and I have not seen him miss many. 6'1", 170, 180. Just a heat-seeking missile. I like the kid. I think he had 5 total interceptions in his career.
This guy, Don Burr, said something positive?
No. He's saying something Lions friendly.
Johnson, yeah, he's pretty dope. He's pretty dope, Don, and welcome, Don. I think, Don, I have to give credit to you. Your Detroit Lions are really showing us how to draft and how to pick up in free agency and how to build a team.
Yep.
And it's
going to be a fight for Detroit.
It's going to be a fight. Lions and Tigers and Bears on mine.
Also, y'all are going to love Montgomery. Oh my God.
Well, here's something to be said about that, because if we were to go with Devin Witherspoon, right? What does that say about Kyler Gordon? Does that say we keep him in nickel? Do we kind of put him on the outside and make Jalen Johnson the nickel?
Because look, we're gonna have to pay Jalen Johnson soon. I say that means we trade Jalen Johnson.
Now?
Yes.
Okay.
And I love Jalen Johnson. I think he's a really good player. He's he's definitely an NFL caliber corner. Definitely a starting corner on 31 teams. I mean, you see what Sauce Gardner did when he came in to that Jets defense, immediately made it one of the better defenses in the league. I don't know if Weatherspoon has that ability, but what I do know is like that would have to be the move if they were to draft a corner that early is, you'd have to trade Jalen Johnson. I wouldn't love that though. I still think pass rush is the most important thing right now.
But why would you trade Jalen Johnson if you're going to draft that? Because that is possibly saying maybe they do have faith that Kyler Gordon's going to be a damn good nickel with a full off season of training and learning and a full season of training at nickel. So, I mean, I'm not a fan of him at nickel. I'm a fan of him, period, because I think he is an absolute shutdown corner. And when we lost Jalen Johnson and Vildor was being Vildor, he was shutting down some of the best receivers in the game right now.
Oh, no doubt.
He held Stephon Diggs to 1 catch. 9 targets, 1 catch. That should show that he should be your corner.
And a lot of that, he was on an island by himself.
Yeah. There was no safety help.
Honestly, the more I think about it, the more I'm realizing, no, we should go pass rush no matter what. Because I'm not too concerned about the secondary. The secondary is fine. The secondary is one of the bright spots last year. You got Brisker, Eddie Jackson, and then Johnson and Gordon are 2 really solid corners. We can't leave them on islands forever. We got to get after that quarterback.
You can, but the problem is, look who we just picked up in free agency, right? We picked up a D tackle. We picked up a DN/D tackle, right? And then we picked up 2 linebackers that both have played the middle and the outsides. So there's versatility. Yeah. Right. There's versatility on there. One of our fans, what's his name? Keith Sperry, had reached out and we had a great conversation, and he had spoke about something thinking out the box. There's a lot of buzz around Bijan Robinson too. And I know you said that you didn't want him at 9, but when you say best player available, if there's a Will Anderson gone. But I told him, I said, it makes sense as in best player available, but you got Homer who can, be a third down back, special teams guy. Then obviously you have Herbert and
Foreman
that are going to be, vying for that number 1 position. I don't really think we need a running back, but he is something special. Me personally, I think you got to go best available in this order. Will Anderson is gone, right?
Can't draft a running back.
Let's say Will Anderson is gone. Let's say, for the sake of this argument, Jalen Carter didn't make it past, say Seattle. What if you had a Tyree Wilson available? What if you had a Nolan Smith available? What if you still have a Miles Murphy available? That's kind of tempting, right? That's kind of tempting. Now, the difference between Murphy and someone like Nolan is the difference between one is 275 and I believe one is 235. So we're talking about a 40-pound difference in the position. But one is a more traditional old school defensive end, whereas Nolan Smith is that hybrid and can play linebacker as well and drop back in the coverage. So what do you all think about that? Because best available at that position to me gets a little tricky too, because then what if Paris Johnson is available?
Before we get to that, JB, I wanted to pump the brakes for a quick second because our chat's lit up. Condolences to Terrence right now, man. For everybody who isn't seeing the chat right now, Terrence lost his dad. That's why he hasn't been on here for a while, and he's going to take his time. We're perfectly fine with that. There's no problem. We want him to come back completely like himself. So I'm going to jump out there right now and saying my deepest condolences because I just lost mine not that long ago too. It's a horrible, horrible feeling. So Terrence, if you are watching, I think I speak for all of us, man. Love you to death.
Here.
Deepest condolences for you, my man.
Cheers, my brother.
Amen to that.
All right. And so back to where we were going.
So pull up Bullet's comment because he kind of touched on what I was speaking of with Bijan at 9. And he does make a very valid point with a Bijan Robinson and getting a pretty good O-lineman in the second.
Well, you're kind of hoping like he can be like that Saquon that we were even considering putting that $15 million towards.
Or if he turns out to be Matt Forte, that's pretty damn good.
Yeah, there's no question about that.
I will take it.
The question is, how many playoff games did Matt Forte win in Chicago?
3, I think. 4.
No, 1. I knew that was the one that the game before they sat out because they had won the division. And then Cutler.
He was your running back when Jay Cutler went to the NFC Championship.
That's the one game.
That's one playoff game.
Yeah, but I'm not putting that on Matt Forte.
I'm not putting that on Matt Forte. I'm not putting that on Matt Forte. I'm putting that on the position of running back. All right. Running backs, especially when they're a dime a dozen, like investing a first-round pick in a running back is I can't even – I could barely explain how foolish it is. Just like from a logical and from a business standpoint, it's like you're really gonna put your number one pick is the player that you expect to come in and turn your franchise around, or just immediately step in and bring your franchise to the next level. Yeah, running backs, like there are some really, really good ones. They're not gonna like how's Josh Jacobs doing in Vegas right now? Is he winning his division? No. He's running for a bunch of yards, winning a bunch of fantasy leagues, and they can't win shit. Derrick Henry, maybe the exception. Yeah, it doesn't hurt to lighten the load, and that's why
at the same time, and I agree, Bullets, with what you're saying, lighten the load, but we need more.
I am all in favor of trading for Austin Eckler, giving up a 4th or a 5th round pick for him, because that's different. You're giving up a little asset for a really good player. And the reason why I like Eckler is because when you get Eckler, you're pretty much forcing Justin Fields to check it down.
Check it down, right?
It was one of those, yards after catch running backs. And then you have a really good 3-headed monster with Herbert, Foreman, and Eckler in the backfield. Like that's elite. So that's why I'm like, trade for Eckler, give up a 5th round pick for him. Hell yeah. Like I'd absolutely do that.
But I think you're lowballing Eckler with saying that he's only going to go for a 5th round pick.
No, I'm lowballing the Chargers. I don't think the Chargers have a lot of leverage because they don't have a lot of money right now. And
that's why they would want a higher pick.
Yeah, they would want. Yeah, I agree with Jay. They're going to be asking for at least a 2nd, 3rd round pick.
At least a 2nd, yeah.
And when it comes down to that, will somebody give him that? Yes. But not somebody who is still like trying to jump up from a rebuild. Yeah, somebody who is a running back away from contending for a Super Bowl, aka the Buffalo Bills.
I was just about the Bills, especially
Buffalo Bills would give up a 1st round pick for that.
Yeah, right now. Absolutely.
The Bills absolutely should do that. That's fair to say. But I did not. I guess that makes sense. I didn't think Eckler, because he is a running back, I didn't think the market would be that crazy high for him. But you mentioned the Bills. Okay, yeah, I could see the Bills giving up a second rounder for him. Still, I don't think Bijan. Like, look, I think he's great, and I think he'll be a really good player. I don't think he's worth the first round pick at all because of the position he plays. I think, there are still some decent running backs on the market, and I think the Bears have done a good job in recent years getting depth at the running back position.
Yeah.
So,
right now you're looking at a 3-headed monster in-house. That's what we're looking at, right, as currently constructed. What I'm looking at moving forward, though, is as we transition from the positions is the Bears were the number one rushing offense, and the Bears had a really good rushing line, right, run blocking, but a lot of those yards because of Justin's running. So a lot of the yards per carry as a team falls on Justin, where it's not like they're just Derrick Henry is the rushing game, right?
Right.
So those yards are
90%
his. Where in this situation, could you say that 75% of the rushing yards the Bears have this year is pretty much Justin? Maybe 60 to 75.
Are you saying last year or this year we're going into?
I'm sorry, this year that just passed.
Okay.
So that to me that kind of skews the running game.
Yeah, I think it's about half. If I have to double check. Well, how many yards did we run for as a team? Let me find it real quick.
Okay, so if it's half, that's still. I mean, that's more than what I want my quarterback.
Yeah, but let's also think about the fact that we did let our only passing running back go. Or, I'm sorry, blocking running back go.
True.
None of these running backs are good blockers that we have.
No, that's not true.
He's solid.
Homer's pretty.
Montgomery was better.
Yeah.
Montgomery was better at blocking than he was. But
yeah.
Hopefully we fixed up our O-line and we're not going to have to worry about that right now. Because
true. Well, but remember, you also had the addition of Robert Tonyan too. So when you go 2 tight ends, you can kind of chip and release.
True.
Which will help. And Cole Kmet is a very good blocker as a tight end.
Yeah, but I'm hoping that's not going to keep them from Pat, because I think that is going to be a very good tight end duel right there with Tonga and Kmet, man. I'm going to enjoy watching that.
Go ahead.
Just to be clear, Fields ran for 12, shy of 1,200 yards. The Bears ran for a total of 3,000 yards as a team.
Shit, really? They rushed that much, huh? So he pretty much was like what, 45%? He was like 45%.
And he missed a game and a half, right?
Yeah, it's true. He did
a little shy of 33%.
He missed a game
Frank
and a
was
half.
not a math major.
I said 40%. I didn't actually think.
You're fine. You're close. It's close enough. But point being, like the Bears, I do think the Bears, like, do you remember early in the season when they were running the ball like a lot and they were still being able to say, we're going to run the ball, we're going to run the ball. They were still getting big plays. Like, I do think there's something to be said about the fact that the offensive line, I'm not going to say it's good because it's not, but it's not nearly as bad as people have been saying it is. It's really not. They were able to do, there were some plays that they could run. The reason why I'm saying it's not as bad as people say it is because like there were some plays that the Bears could run over and over that they could still find success with. The main one that comes to mind is that outside zone toss play with Montgomery and Herbert. They had some really big gains on that, no matter how often they would run it. The issue is pass blocking, like you said. Now, the big problem there, Braxton Jones, the big thing about him is that he needs to bulk up more. Okay, so he has a full offseason to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, you think about it, this is a young offensive line. You have a full off season for a young offensive line too. They can come back and be good next year.
Exactly. But the defensive line, that was a bunch of nobodies and a bunch of shit. No offense, like again, it's not personal, but a bunch of shit on that defensive line. And that's why I'm still saying, priority number one. Also, we don't need to pass block that much if we're able to like cut down our allowed third down conversions. Like if we're able to get after the quarterback, then we're not in situations where we need to pass the ball late in games anymore. So I'm just saying right now, priority one, you need an elite pass rusher. You need someone who's really, really good at getting after the other team's quarterback. And that's my piece on that.
No.
So let's go with that theory then, Easy, because now when you look at your O-line currently, Braxton Jones wasn't necessarily a turnstile, but he wasn't a stalwart either. So that left tackle is so important. We already know and have well documented the struggles of him coming up the gut with a Sam Mustipher. We know that is an issue. So now when you're saying, okay, you're looking at the Orlando Brown fiasco that happened. You listen to the tweets and the rumors about Laramie Tunsil. There's smoke right here, right now, fellas. So when there's smoke, there's usually fire. So there's something to be said about them wanting to go and get that left tackle. And if you notice one trend that's going around very heavy in the NFL is pairings. Be it, hey, these guys played together and had great success. Be it quarterback, wide receiver, O-line, quarterback. Defensive backfields have been coming together a lot lately, if you've noticed.
No, pairings, but look, isn't it important pairing a guard and a tackle because they're right next to each other? They have to be able to communicate.
Absolutely.
Nate Davis is the kind of player who comes in and, like, when I was putting together his highlight tape, he's the guy on that line. Like, he's the guy who's calling everything out. He's the one who's, kind of acting like the quarterback of the line, so to speak, even though like that metaphor falls flat because we're talking about football, but he's the leader of that line. And he strikes me as someone who could come in and be that anchor and really elevate the pass blocking abilities and run. I mean, just the abilities in general of the other people on the line. Now, Mustafa's gone, right? He's not the starting center next year. I'm pretty sure the Bears aren't re-signing him.
I swear to God, if they do,
look, they actually said Lucas Patrick was going to pretty much get the nod. Yes. But again, okay. I do not want. I don't want.
I don't even want him on the practice squad.
There was nothing that Lucas Patrick did that was just so mind blowing when he was a backup in Green Bay. Like, there was nothing that I just like. Oh man, we got to have this kid. He's young. He's brash. He's bruising. There was nothing I saw from him.
Well, people really realize, like, when has there ever been an offensive line where all 5 players were really good, except maybe the Eagles this past year? I'm trying to think. Like, you don't usually have like. An offensive line's a unit. You need 5 people working well collectively, not necessarily 5 great athletes all in one space. You know what I mean? Like, they're all like, everything they do is in response to one another, especially in that zone blocking scheme. Listen to Mark Schlereth talk about it sometimes. He was a Hog, second generation Hog, and blocked for that great Terrell Davis offensive line. Like, the offensive line, it's one position, but we have to think of those 5 as one. It's one.
So what did Fred Miller teach us? The dance, the footwork, I know what he's going to do without even communicating with. You don't get to that unless that person builds that camaraderie with you. The problem is, if you don't know the dance steps, you're going to mess up the dance. Your choreography has to be on par. And right now, what I'm looking at as far as Nate Davis is a right guard that probably for us is going to play left unless they move Tevin Jenkins. Now, the difference between playing right tackle and right and left tackle and right guard and left guard, we all know is worlds apart. People say, how?
It is.
No, it really is worlds apart. Not just the footwork, timing, do I chip the tackle, then help on the edge rushing in? It's a lot of other nuances that go along with that position. Now you're asking for a pretty all-star caliber right guard to potentially play left guard and help make up for the mistakes of a little slightly less than average left tackle. That's putting a lot on Nate Davis.
It is.
I still think that Jenkins should be the one to move because his whole game is he's a mauler, right? Like, he's not there to be like the cerebral presence on the line. He's the one who's going to bury a fucker into the ground. And with that being in mind, I think that a transition for a player like that is different for a player who's responsible for like knowing the assignments and, like knowing when to like help the outside the blocker against the outside defender and knowing when he's supposed to like come inside and help the center, et cetera, et cetera. So I think, I absolutely think Jenkins is the guy that you can move around and get away with it because no matter what, he's getting his pads on a body every single time.
But aren't you also worried because injury issues, switching him any position is going to affect his back?
Well, yes. Yes.
Like that's the only thing that's the only thing I'd be worried about. But I guess I wouldn't be too much at guard.
I'm encouraged by this season because he played the whole year, no?
No. No, he missed 2-3 games.
I thought he played like 14 or 15 games. I thought.
Yeah, he missed 2 or 3 games, and it was
Well,
all
he
due
played-
pretty
he played
much.
for Jordan
It was all
Season,
due to
too.
pretty much like back soreness. His back was aggravating him again.
He
But
also
here we go
does he not
again.
strike you as the kind of guy who like if he's made it this far with his back issues, like even though he sat out some games this year, I don't hold that against Fields. I don't hold it against I don't hold it against Mooney for not coming back because this season went to the dogs very, very fast. But
2 out of his 3 misses were early in the year.
He strikes me as a football player. And I know that sounds dumb, but I mean like the kind of guy who understands the value of like even if his back isn't doing so good, like he's gonna play hurt. Like he knows the physical toll playing in the NFL takes, and he's gonna keep at it, like even if it's fucking him up a bit.
But there's another tail to that tape. Dig a little deeper. Now we would be asking him to learn his 4th position in 3
Yeah,
weeks.
dude.
Then pair him. So he's never mastered one. He just started to get really good at right guard. Now you want to move him to left and have him help Braxton Jones. That's another issue that, again, we're saying, hey, learn this new position and also help our franchise left tackle potentially. That's a lot. And that's why I say I don't want any more square pegs and round holes, right?
But it's also like, old dog, new tricks kind of thing with Nate Davis. I think Nate Davis is 28?
But he's only been in the league 4 years. Like he's not.
Yeah, he came out at 25.
Right. He's an older guy that has not a lot of miles under his belt as far as team. But here we go again. Let me put you like this. What would be more beneficial to the Bears right now? Letting Nate Davis learn how to play left guard and help him, or switch what you said, put Tevin on the right, on the left side, but then you keep Whitehair and put him back at center.
That's what I was about to say. Is what was wrong with Whitehair at center?
I think it's Whitehair's contract right now. Isn't he getting paid a lot of money this year?
His cap hit. Well, no, I'm sorry. If we cut him, we save $9 million.
Yes.
So, but in the NFL, you can restructure. It's just put it this way: is there a market for Cody Whitehair right now? Not that I've heard. Not that I've seen.
Probably not. Probably not for an oldish guard, I imagine.
He's still a good veteran guard, though. I mean, good, not great, good.
Good, but that's the thing. Like, good is good enough when you have a really good, a really good guy on that line. Like, I think my offensive line theory is as long as one of them is great, the whole unit could be really, really good. Unless you have in the middle.
So again, we want the unit to win. That's what we want. But do you remember that the Bears made a fatal flaw? In my opinion, they drafted 2 guys that played primarily center their whole college career and moved both of them to guards. Whitehair, and remember Daniels. Daniels coming out was a 4 to 5 star center. So that's just telling me right now we're not scouting the center position properly.
We got a guest on, by the way, guys.
Remember specific? Oh, well, kind of.
We got a guest on. Let's bring in our boy Anthony Stewart.
Hey,
all right, fellas. All right, how's everyone doing?
Good. How about you, man?
We're vibing.
That's what's up. Always an honor. Always an honor. Any chance I get to come and rock with you guys. We'll continue.
I was just saying real quick before I forget this point. When it comes to the center position and the Whitehair Daniels thing, remember Matt Nagy was very wishy-washy about who he wanted at center, and he kept moving those guys around. I feel like that played a role with why it just didn't go so well. And look, the other thing is the main reason why I'm not as concerned about the offensive line as everyone else is because Ryan Poles played the position. And look, obviously he's going to hype himself up, but on Pardon My Take, when Big Cat, not Big Cat Williams, other Big Cats interviewed,
You talking about Fred Miller?
No, I'm talking about Big Cat, like the Barstool guy, the Big
Cat. Not
Big
Cat Williams.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
When he and PFT interviewed Poles and Eberflus, Poles was saying, I have an advantage when scouting offensive linemen because I played the position. I know about, taking angles. I know about, just like getting proper leverage and, you know, other things like that, X, Y, and Z. And it's like, okay, I have faith that Poles can absolutely bolster the offensive line by picking the right guys in rounds 2, 3, 4, etc. Because again, he's played the position. I think Braxton Miller was an outstanding value pick. You know, I think he's going to be a really, like, when all said and done, I think he got a guy that he knew could be developed into a very solid offensive tackle, and I think that he's going to be able to do that again. And that's why I'm not
easy. Think about this really quick. Matt Nagy was a quarterback. How the fuck did
Matt Nagy
that
was an
work out?
Arena League quarterback.
How did that? It doesn't matter. He was a quarterback.
Absolutely. Arena League is like,
it still matters.
Okay, but look, quarterback in general is different, and also like that's a coach. Okay, like every coach.
He wouldn't be a good GM either, though.
Well, I know it wasn't being a good GM, but like every coach has played football. I don't know if every GM has played football, especially as recently as Poles.
You're right on that one. And that's not a knock on Poles or anything, because I truly do feel Poles.
Adam Dobbs is saying, yeah, didn't Nagy play QB? Yes, he played Arena League quarterback. And look, again.
See, Adam Dobbs agrees with me. Look at that.
No, I know, but the point being, like, still head coach. I don't know. Did Ryan Pace play? Like Ryan Pace, not Poles. Did Ryan Pace play football? It doesn't look like a football.
It doesn't look like it, at least.
Yeah, I mean, and yeah, I'm just saying, like, also the recency factor that, like, you know, he played fairly recently at Boston College while the game was kind of shifting towards getting good pass protectors. So I'm just saying I trust his ability to scout in the trenches. So
I'm glad you said that, because I have a quick disagreement. And I know you said you wanted to go O-line, right?
That's right. Mm-hmm. So, left tackle. So easy. Mm-hmm. You said you have faith in Ryan Poles because he played the position. Let me tell you the linemen associated with his name so far.
Yeah, I know that. I know your
Braxton
answer.
Jones.
Who?
Braxton Jones.
Jones.
Zach Miller. Dieter Iceland. Alex Leatherwood.
Woo.
Wiley Reese.
Okay, wait. Leatherwood.
Let me finish. Schofield. Patrick. You guys remember Dakota Dozier?
Yeah, didn't he last 3 days? 4 maybe?
So look, you saying he played the position. Easy. He played the position, therefore he should be able to scout. Scouting goes not only in the free agency, but also in the draft. The only lineman that had a microcosm of success was Braxton Jones, only because he played all the games. All those other guys either never made it or played horrible.
He still led the NFL at quarterback.
Let me interject on that. Let me tag Tim off of that, JB.
All right,
now,
and then
all those guys you named were pretty much bums,
Mm-hmm.
but there was a reason. Remember, last season there was a reason why he was signing guys like that. It wasn't for this year or for next year. He knew those guys wasn't going to be around. JB, you look at your stats. You Leatherwood, first round bust from the Raiders. Come on, man. Come on.
Look,
but
what
do
he was
you
doing,
draft those guys to get your quarterback killed? No, that's not smart either.
He was taking flyers. Look,
he did get a number one pick, though.
When you look, like we're not saying he was drafting, like, we're not talking about third round picks here, right? We're not talking about, you know, value picks like second round, third round, even fourth round. I think Miller was not Miller. I think what's his name? I think Braxton. What's his name? His name is Braxton Jones, right?
He was a fifth round out of Southern Utah.
He was a fifth round pick, right? So we're talking about like late round picks, you know, like late in the draft, and we're talking about guys that you bring off the scrap heap, you know, just to, you know, try to fight for a spot. We're talking about Alex Leatherwood, who was a first round washout with the Raiders. So yeah, of course you're going to take a flyer on him. And by the way, he wasn't entirely terrible. He did okay.
Get that much of a chance.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Leatherwood was terrible. Yes, he was.
There was times he didn't even know he was playing football.
Right. The Green Bay the Green Bay game, he more than held his own. He had some really nice moments in that Green Bay game. Remember, Fields was very efficient in that game. He was really
better as a Raider. I know the exact game you're talking about, but Is your bar that low though?
Like, these aren't like long-term investments that Poles has made on offensive line. These are
they're
flyers.
all freebies.
These are
freebies.
These are. I'm going to take a pamphlet and see.
Other than Reef he paid a good amount of money for.
Well, he tried to, but then backed up because if Reef had a clause in his contract where if he played so many games, he was going to get like a $10 million escalator. It was like,
and he did back off, and it saved.
So that's why I say when people just look at it and say, "Oh no,
Reeves?
tanking," or Riley Reef, or he didn't have any money, it's like that's bull because the same GM who's he didn't have any money to work with, he was going to give Larry Ogunjobi $40 million. That's a lot of money,
right? JB, I'm not saying
a free technique too.
I'm not saying that Poles didn't have the money. I'm saying this was all a part of the plan. Now Braxton Jones, I think, was a diamond in the rough. I think that kid's going to be good. But everyone else you named was intentionally signed because Poles knew that they were not going to be on the roster this year. It wasn't about the money, and I get it. You want to protect your best asset, which is J1, JF1. You want to protect that, but at the same time, you're tanking. You're tanking for that number one, and so you're plugging and playing, just like you said earlier. You're taking round pegs and putting them into square holes, right? Absolutely. And then that in turn has Jay Fields running for records. Bears records.
Also got him hurt twice, and one of them could have been very severe.
Yeah, he got hurt. But he did. Thank God he didn't get hurt. But
also,
that won't be the case. That won't be the case this year. I can almost guarantee you. Poles does know offensive linemen, and like Leatherworth, I think he was trying to catch lightning in a bottle, man. The kid was a bomb.
I still think they should keep Leatherwood on the roster.
No.
You want him for depth, but there's a kid.
For depth,
his name escapes me. HBCU kid that's on the team right now. Who's just a big. What is his name? Number 73. Is it 73?
Bullets.
What is his name?
Point, Bullets. Nice point right here.
That's my point on Leatherwood. You can't judge him yet, and also he's been trying to.
The Raiders are a shit ass organization, so
that
I can't
too. And Leatherwood to me, he screams like six man swing lineman. He's been trying all different positions. I don't see why not. He was a first round talent at one point.
He was taking center snaps.
It would be nice to have him as that.
So you do realize when he was drafted in the first round, his own coach.
Right. That's my point, JB. That's my point. A first round bust. A first round. You think the Raiders would have gave him up if he had any potential?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You think they would have gave him up for nothing? Who cuts a first round pick? I think he's like 2-3 years in the league. What is it, JB? How long has he been in the league?
2.
Come on, man. Come on. Enough said.
But let me answer this because I already know Anthony's going to like this, and Adam Dobbs and me are like he's like my twin right now or something because
you guys are vibing.
Here's Johnson sitting there at 9. I'm fucking taking him.
Absolutely. Hey,
I want to be mad.
And left tackle.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yes. And then you can move Braxton over to right, and you are set.
That's right. Then you solidify your line. Yeah, absolutely.
Take to my swing. I move Borum to my swing tackle. That's who I move. I move Borum to my swing tackle.
I like that. I like that a lot, actually. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure he projected as a swing tackle in his profile.
I thought he did too coming out.
I'm with me. Okay, you know what? I'll give you that. But I'm also saying first round. Yes, I want defensive linemen, but yes, if Paris Johnson is available, I wouldn't if it's between him and Miles Murphy though. If it's between
don't do Murphy. Don't do Murphy easy. Do Skoronski. Do Peter Skoronski. Is it Paris Johnson for you or is it Skoronski for you? Because here's the caveat.
No, honestly, I'm pulling up their scouting reports right now, and I'll tell you based on that because I need to read their. I know they're both good. I don't know what they do specifically well. I do know that we're looking for someone.
I still love Miles Murphy. Why is everyone passing up on my guy Miles Murphy? God damn it, dude.
He graded out of the first round.
I know. I don't get why.
But I don't know. I don't
get that.
I don't see him being a guy who's going to randomly hit you with an 18, 19 sack year. but I can see him every year giving you 11, 12 sacks because he is so consistent.
You have to remember that
Agreed.
position at that size is not what it is anymore. So unless you have a defense or a coach with that old mentality, which the Eagles pretty much did, as you saw, I mean, again, I think that should be more of a blueprint than an anomaly. I really do. Pittsburgh, look at Pittsburgh. They always got multiple people with double-digit sacks on that line. Always.
Yeah. But you got to go back to what you said earlier, JB. I go back to what you said earlier.
Bing, bing, bingo right there with bullets right there. And that's 100% agree with what my citing of Leatherwood would be. Josh McDaniels was your fucking coach.
Oh, my goodness. But I'm going to go back to what you said, JB. Yeah. When you had Ted Washington and Tractor Trailer, that's like 700 pounds of butt up front. That's the defense you want to run, especially with the linebackers that we just acquired. That's who you want to put up there. You need a 3 technique and a 1 technique right up front. 700 pounds. 700 pounds, man. Let them linebackers, the secondary, as we said earlier, secondary is good. Yeah, it's good. This you need those tackles, man.
This is a good segue, Anthony. With what if Jalen
Carter slips taking Skoronski? I'm just saying.
What if Jalen Carter slips the 9?
Wait. Go back. Finish the statement because you heard what Easy just said before we segue. You said you take Skoronski.
Yes.
And I'm assuming because you said you were looking up their grades.
I'm reading their profiles. I'm not just looking at the grades. I'm looking at their scouting reports, and it's just like he seems nastier, and I think that's super important. I think like I'm looking for someone at an offensive line. I want someone who, even if he gets the play wrong, he's still like putting a fucker on his ass, right? And that's what Skoronski. And look, I nothing against Paris Johnson because Paris Johnson sounds really, really good too. I just think Skoronski's kind of got like that. He plays with that edge, just based on what I'm reading here. He's got that pedigree. Proactive. I like that it says he's proactive with his hands. Excellent footwork, clear understanding of angles.
That's the kid from Ohio State. Who is that? The lineman from Ohio State with the long arms and the great footwork.
That's Paris Johnson.
But he's reading.
Yeah, that's who you get. That's who you get. That's who you get. I mean, because if he can get those hands out there on those linemen,
Anthony,
get those arms out there.
I'm reading about Skoronski.
What about him?
That's who
I'm reading about him, not Paris Johnson, the Northwestern kid.
Yeah, they're worried about the length of his arms.
Right. His arm length and his size. But he technically in the NFL projects as a guard.
Yeah, we don't need another guard.
I thought he projects as a tackle.
He would be hard pressed.
But hey, JB, wasn't he playing left tackle at Ohio State?
No, he plays left tackle at
left tackle at Northwestern.
But I'm saying because
that's Guy. I'm talking about the kid from Ohio State.
That's Paris Johnson. Yes, he plays left tackle.
Yeah, I guess
that's what I'm talking about.
I misread something. They're saying Skoronski projects better as a guard and like as an average tackle, not a really good tackle. Okay, that's fair. Okay, I could give you that.
So that's why I said if you draft Skoronski, you're drafting him for the guard. You're basically you want him to be Quentin Nelson. That's what you draft him for.
Yeah.
We got another question on here too. Adam Dobbs again. He makes a good point on this, and I mean, I kind of want to answer this too because I don't think we take a wide receiver in the first round. Mainly because I think we go with the wide receiving core that we have right now. You go out and get some more depth if you want and everything like that. Perfectly fine. But let's not forget, you got Carolina's first round pick next year. They're not going to be good. That could be a top
we might not be good. So we
might not be good either. Can you imagine 2 top 5 picks for God's sakes? Well, let's not forget the Ohio State wide receiver is coming out of this draft next year too.
Marvin Harrison Jr.
Is something special.
Adam is assuming here that Mooney and Claypool will play themselves into really big contracts. If that's the case, sign me up, man. That would be such a great problem. How great would that be if both Claypool and Mooney earn like really nice wide receiver contracts just by how they play next year? Like that would be amazing. because
we still have an option to pick up. We don't have to pay him next.
But the question was, do we draft a wide receiver in the first round?
Not this year.
That was the question. No,
I wouldn't.
Not this year.
No,
I wouldn't.
You draft one.
I agree. No.
In case if these two wide receivers want to get paid, that's perfect because if you could somehow pull Marvin Harrison Jr. out of your hat at Ohio State for next year, talk about that wide receiving core next year.
My God, right? But look, I mean, I'm just looking like like you said, these Claypool and Mooney are both looking for contracts pretty soon. I think like they do have team options, but at the same time, yeah, they're going to be looking to get paid pretty soon. That means, they're going to be hungry for the football. So I think that's a good thing to have among receivers, guys who want to make plays.
Isn't that the mold now, guys? I need a number one and a number two that are both stars. Isn't like, come on, like we look at Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. We looking at Devontae Smith and AJ Brown. Like that, like let's stop trying to reinvent the wheel. Like that's the way the league is trending. Let's go ahead and evolve.
And they did that.
I'm all for it. Like there's no problem with that.
They did that.
No, they didn't. They didn't do that last year. They went back to the old uniform football.
This year they did it, is what I'm saying. By bringing in DJ Moore and now they have Claypool and Mooney. That's
Claypool's going to be a good number two.
That's a 1, a 2, and a 2. That's a 1, 2, 2.
If they brought in, to Adam Dobbs' point, if they brought in JSN, we're talking about Jackson Smith and Jimba, that you pretty much just said Ryan Poles wet the bed on Velvet Jones. No room for him. No room.
I don't think they're going to do that.
Well,
I think he's just going to be your true special teams guy now.
Hi, I'm Velvet Jones.
He's going to be your true special teams guy. That's all he's going to be now is a special teams guy. And
I still see a lot of potential in Velvet.
Yeah. I'm not saying I don't see potential, but he's a Tiger who's already got his stripes just because of his age. He's not saying that he can't learn, but he kind of is who he is right now.
But man, when he's got the ball in his hands, he looks faster than anyone else
onto the ball.
Well, on a jet sweep, it's not that hard.
Okay, but I've seen EQ do jet sweeps and get 20 yards. Like
Mooney used to be really good off the
jet. That doesn't impress me. So here's the thing: if Velvet Jones could learn the top half of the route tree and be our go get it threat, that would be one thing. But now you got DJ Moore who can pretty much run the complete route tree. So again, that pushes Velvet down the pecking order again. So right now, do you put him in your top 4? I don't see it.
No.
He's a fifth who's going to be.
He's got to go. He's got to go. He has to go. Yeah, Velvet Jones has to go.
It's been 1 year, man. Give the guy a chance. It's been 1 year. Yeah, he fucked up a lot, multiple times, but like players are allowed to fuck up the rookie year, like without.
Well, absolutely, but maybe this is not the place for him. That's all we're saying.
Because that's what I'm saying.
We don't run a system right now for a.
Wait a minute. I'm playing devil's advocate here. I'm not saying that you give up on the kid because of just 1 year, but when the deck is stacked against him, he's 5th right now.
Yeah, too much skill up above him right
now.
Yeah,
when everybody's above, he's literally going to be a one-trick pony. And don't sleep on Travis Homer getting some of those punt and kick returns. Don't sleep on that.
And I'm not putting Velvet at my 4.
No. I mean, he would literally have to light it up in preseason, man. Just to get a spot on special teams, he would have to literally light it up. I mean, catch everything that's thrown to him. You know what I'm saying?
But then
just to make special teams.
If you're a defense and that's the pecking order, when you see Velvet come in the game, you automatically check deep route, you check wide receiver screen, you check reverse. And then he's kind of pigeonholed, and it's well, damn, that's all he can do. So we know he's doing one of the 3.
Yeah. And I don't think he's going anywhere because we're hoping he's still going to develop into that special teams guy who can return punts, who can return kickoffs. We're hoping we could at least get him into that gadget type receiver. But I see him only being as your 5th receiver, going in for gadgets. And I think EQ is going to be more your 4 because of his passing or his blocking ability.
He's absolutely 4. And if you go in the red zone, you got a 6'5" guy.
Exactly.
Who can go up and do jump balls, which I wish they had done more of last year. But again,
we got another guest on here too. We got another guest up on here, and we're going to give him a little introduction because baseball season's underway. Well, not underway. Preseason's underway.
No, baseball is underway. The World Baseball Championships.
Yeah, World Baseball Classic is happening right now.
It's already going on right now, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
Japan's winning.
He runs Plunked right now, which is all baseball, and he does it every Sunday. And we'll let him tell us the release date on it because I don't think it actually started yet. But let's bring him in, Emilio.
What's up, fellas?
What's up, man?
All right.
How you guys doing tonight?
Good. How about you?
Good to see you for a long time.
Feeling good, boys. Just looking at Japan looking like they're trying to close this thing out.
Oh, I actually don't even have it on. What's the score?
I didn't turn it on. What's the score?
3-1. Japan's up. Otani's batting right now. It's must see TV.
Yes,
yeah. Indeed. Whenever he has the ball or the bat, he is
indeed must see TV. Just to echo what I think it was Easy said it. 3-1 Japan, bottom of the 7th. Otani at the plate. I'm trying to keep up with it while I'm talking, but
yeah, no problem.
Yeah, man. So it's been some really exciting baseball. I don't know how many of y'all are baseball fans or whatnot, but like it's been cool because we've gotten to see some very competitive baseball early on in the year. You know, we usually don't get this type of playoff atmosphere until playoff time, which is October. So we're getting a good taste of it. I mean, the crowds are crazy.
Yeah,
how cool was that? How cool was that Japan-Mexico game last night?
Oh my God, that was insane!
Amazing game. One of the best
games I've ever seen. Yeah. Like Mexico was handling it the whole way, and then Japan comes back. If any of you guys saw it, but it's been some great competitive games.
I really like this one game elimination type thing. That's so crazy.
Oh man, it makes
it is
so much
so
more
intense
exciting.
for a baseball game. Like my God,
it makes each game worth like 20 during the regular season. You know what I mean? Just because of the sheer volume of the regular season, and you get a chance to see some of the biggest stars in baseball represent their country. And if you got some stuff that some guys that are mixing it up, like you got Freddie Freeman playing for Team Canada. His mom's Canadian, but he's born in the States, but he's playing for Canada. So it's been really cool. Been really cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So
Otani can fly too. Like, geez.
Let me ask you
this.
Out
an infield single.
Let me ask you this, Bucks, because a lot of people know, yes, you know baseball, but you know sports, period.
Yeah.
What did you think from your standpoint, your POV, of what Ryan Poles has done so far and what he needs to do? Because remember, the draft is still a month away.
Well, I think what Ryan Poles has done so far has been just short of brilliant. You know what I mean? It's a very small sample size. You know what I mean? Because just I mean, if you think about it, 2 months ago, guys were ready to run him out of town. I'm looking at you, JB.
No, every single show, he is that guy.
Guys are looking to run him out of town.
JB was one of the first ones who said, "Hey, kudos to Poles for what he did right on day one."
I want winners.
Absolutely. And I think what you've seen so far is just a taste of what he can do. Again, it just takes time. You know what I mean? Like, he came in with kind of an awkward situation with a possible franchise quarterback that he didn't draft. And so there's always going to be that question, well, this isn't his guy, so is this who he really wants? And then we dealt with that all season. Is Justin going to be the guy moving forward? He's not Ryan Poles' guy. We don't know. And then Ryan Poles was brilliant because he put all of that out there for y'all to suck it up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he played the media. He plays the media game very well, considering his youth and maybe seemingly some inexperience. You know, he did a good job of keeping that mystique. Like this was he ran game all season, leaving it up to people to wonder if this is our guy. And he never committed to Justin. He never said, Justin isn't our guy. He never came out and said, yeah, we're going to look at the, you know what I mean? He kind of like, he stayed mum until the time came for him to be really transparent, which he has been this past week. I mean, hats
I've never
off
seen
to
a
him.
Chicago GM talk as much as he really has. Though.
I know, right?
That's the weird vibe.
He
that
even
I'm
goes on
like
podcast, man.
I'm liking it.
True.
I'm really liking it.
I'm liking it too, and I hope it doesn't come back to kind of bite him at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
But I like this transparent GM because, I mean, we've had the wool pulled over our eyes like way too many times by all of our GMs. You know what I mean? like. I mean, from all of the Bears GMs, Ryan Pace back to, you know, I mean, even if you talk about Gar Pax with the Bulls, like we've been dealing with these BS GMs pulling wool over our eyes for years now. So it's really refreshing to see a guy who's becoming like accessible and seems genuine in his accessibility, like and being on these podcasts and whatnot. Like it seems like he's very genuine. He's not just giving you those cookie cutter answers when he discusses things. He talks about what he was thinking when he did certain things versus, oh well, we'd had our football people look at it and kind of like, you know,
he's winning the PR game for sure. He's winning the PR game for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I love that about him right
so
now.
hats off to Mr. So far.
I have a question for you. I'm going to go back to baseball.
Yes, sir.
What do you think about my White Sox this year? What do you think? The way I'm looking at them, they're gonna take it all, man.
You think so?
That's what I think. Yeah, well, they have it all. They had everything. They had everything last year, but a manager.
Will even take the Central, man.
You also got to think about it too. Is they don't have expectations this year. If they can stay healthy, they really can.
That's kind of when they actually make noises when they don't have expectations.
Yeah, that's how they
without
the
the pressure.
Yeah,
losing to Brayu, I'm still sore about that, man. Like,
I'm sad.
I'm blue.
Yeah, that was that's kind of like that's when the business part of it sucks.
He was our new Paul Konerko, man.
Yeah,
I want to see him win one here.
And you wanted him, you know, he's like our Paul Konerko. He's kind of like what's my boy that played first for the Cubs that left last year?
Anthony Rizzo.
Yeah, Rizzo. He was kind of like that staple guy, that anchor of the team that gave the team its identity. So it was definitely sad to see him go before they could win one with him. But at this point, it's, you know, new season, new look, and let's just keep it moving. You know what I mean?
They got some thumpers, man. They got some thumpers.
They have some thumpers.
Yeah, they got a new
coach.
I mean, Dylan Cease really set himself apart last year as like a true ace, as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely.
Lance Lynn's tearing it up too.
Lance Lynn's been awesome.
Yeah, if he can stay
healthy. I
healthy.
like the fact that takes Giolito out of number one and moves him down to somewhere where it's less pressure.
I never was a huge fan of Giolito.
And we're hoping to see a comeback.
I'll take him against any other number 3 starter.
Yeah, he's solid as a 3.
He's supposed to be your ace.
Yeah, look, Cease or Lynn, Cease, Giolito. That's
very solid.
That's what will keep y'all competitive.
That's very solid right there. And then we have a young Michael Kopech. Will probably screw up that number 4 spot. He's
number 4 solid.
And as long as he can stay healthy, I'm expecting a breakout year from him. I think the sky is the limit with this Sox team, but time will tell how this new coach affects everything. I mean, they got nowhere to go but up from here as far as coaching goes. I think a major thing that is going to be integral in their success is Moncada. Johan Moncada.
He's looking really good too in this.
Just watching him play for Team Cuba and see the excitement that he's playing with, which you hadn't seen in really this last year and a half with the White Sox. And we hope that some of that trickles in over to the MLB season, and he just has fun. The guys look like they just weren't having any fun last year.
Yeah, and Emilio, you said it perfectly.
Not at all.
That is exactly why I never wanted LaRusso to coach this damn team. Because before LaRusso was here, they were so exciting of a team to watch. They were having
they were right there. They were right there, Frank. Yeah. Before they hired LaRusso, they were on the piss of taking it all, man. And then he brought LaRusso in, and Guys falling asleep in the dugout.
He fell asleep for real, like literally. We're not
literally.
making this up.
Fell asleep.
But
Yeah.
I have a personal concern. Man, Bobby Jenks ain't walking through that door, man. What's going on?
Oh, that hurts. Yeah, that hurts.
We lost a lot of games that we were winning last year, man. What's up with this relief in this closing situation, man?
Well, losing Liam Hendricks, as you know,
Right, he's
cancer
okay, man.
right now, and so obviously,
is there a timetable that came out on him yet?
No. So just from a human standpoint, you just want to see him get better as a human. He's got kids, and just to be able to live as long as possible. To hell with baseball, as far as that's concerned, you know what I mean? But as far as like who we can get, I mean, Jose Ruiz is tough. We got some guys who I think can hold on to that reliever spot. Ronaldo Lopez is another guy that I'm looking at. Can't forget about Joe Kelly, who's got closer experience. I think right now it's going to start out as closer by committee, which I'm not crazy about. You know what I mean? But
I'm never a fan of that. That always goes south.
It does. I'm hoping that it can hold on and keep them in contention until the trade deadline. Well, maybe they can make a move for a closer if they're in contention during that time.
Chapman.
I knew that was coming. The way that
Chapman's
you
in division.
Yeah,
Chapman's in the division.
I don't care. It's a trade. You give up prospect for him, and then you go win the damn thing.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, hey,
I agree, JB.
I have personal experience with trading prospects.
That's why I said Chapman, because he's right here, like he's in your backyard.
I can't see the Royals. Like, I mean, you'd have to give up a lot for the Royals to trade.
Not if they suck.
Saying.
That's
well,
very
not.
True.
I mean, I
Royals
still
are always there, though. They never really suck. They're just always.
I still think they're more likely to send him across to St. Louis or to send him.
Yeah, they're not going to want to put him in a division unless the White Sox give up too much for him, and you don't want to give up too much.
Well, again, somebody touched on it. They said it kind of depends on where KC is during that trade deadline. If they're not in contention, which honestly I don't expect them to be, they may be willing to make a move. But we'll have to kind of see how it pans out. I think this division is still wide open.
I'm not sold on Cleveland either.
You can't be sold on Cleveland or Minnesota. You know what I mean? So
Guardians
and nobody is outside of Chicago or even mostly in Chicago sold on the White Sox right now. So understandably.
Later, Adam.
All right, Adam. Thanks for coming in.
All right, man. Adam.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for your service.
So do we want to flip to a little bit of basketball here?
Oh yeah, we can talk some hoops.
Oh, yeah, my school's still alive. Sweet 16, baby. SDSU. Let's go.
Hey, I'm rooting for one team because that's my guy, and I still talk to him. I hope he's watching, and that's Ronnie
Arkansas.
Brewer. My boy Ronnie Brewer, Arkansas. I mean, they did knock out U of I, unfortunately, and that was my other team. But, I mean,
hey, man, anyone
Arkansas looked damn good these first two games.
Hey, fellas, I have to call it a night. I got to get ready, get these accounts together.
Okay,
it was a blast, as always.
Always.
And talk to you guys next week.
All right,
later, Anthony.
All right.
See how easy does it. 2 days.
So, what do you guys think of these Chicago Bulls right now? I know the tournament.
There's Bullets. Bullets had to chime in with this bullshit. This bullshit, Bullets.
Bullets, I promise you, we'll do a little Bulls talk and then I'll circle back because I got some comments that you probably not going to like about our beloved Lakers.
About one certain individual?
Actually, two.
With his cracked toenail?
Y'all gotta stop sharing shit about him that's written by people who are not connected. Look, regardless of what
I saw the video of him 4 days after he was wearing a walking boot dancing at a concert.
I'm not denying that. Look, I'm not saying he's not hamming up his injury. I'm not. What I'm saying is when a page called NBA News at Deadlines, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, says something like, oh yeah, some anonymous executive said this. Like, let's not instantly believe it because, like, I mean, look, it might be true.
Not a reliable source.
Accurate speculation, but like, and there's no way an actual NBA executive would anonymously say that. Like, that would be such a cowardly thing to do.
I
This
don't
team is
care
fighting
about
for
the
a
executive talking. I care about the players that played with him talking.
Yes, but that's I'm talking about a separate issue.
Who
I'm talking about a
was
separate
here,
issue.
and who and since he's joined us, the Bulls are 8-4. Did you all know that?
Could be 10-2.
8-4
could easily be 10-2.
I was just gonna say that 8-4 as well easily could have been 10-2.
Easily should have been 10-2.
Mm-hmm.
Also, like right now,
one game where
played a little bit harder.
Hey, right now we're looking at a playing game. I'm just saying.
Well,
yeah, I think that's realistic. Easy.
I don't think that would be above
be
expectation. But well, here we go again though. I've seen them. Besides, oh Lord, what game was that? That they 3 games ago they had like a 20-point lead
and they blew it. That was the Houston, I think.
That was Houston. Oh God.
Yeah,
they
had a few bad.
They had a 20-point lead against Miami the other night too.
Luckily, they held on to
that.
And Miami cut it to 3.
They held on though. But here's my thing that I've noticed just from watching is since Pat Beverly has joined the team, the energy and intensity has ratcheted 100%. Up. Right? But absolutely, I still see Donovan on the sideline. Calm down, pump your brakes. He looking like, dude, we're losing. What are you talking about? Some calm down, man. Hey, man, shoot.
Move the fucking ball. Don't calm shit.
And I've noticed, have you all noticed too, DeMar DeRozan hasn't been playing as much hero ball.
He has not.
Other than in the fourth quarter, where
when he's needed, which is okay. When he's needed.
I expected in the fourth quarter.
Yes, I'm fine.
Expected in the fourth quarter. But not all of this ISO throughout the whole 4 quarters.
Yes.
And the reemergence of Zach LaVine. I mean, we've been crashing him when he was hurt, so we got to give him.
He got some touches. I even saw Kobe White coming back on. He got hurt last night. I was watching the Philly game, which I believe that's the first time the Bulls beat Joel Embiid.
Kobe White got hurt?
Yeah, he got Embiid fell on him. You didn't watch the game? He fell on him.
I saw Kobe White playing still until PW took him out for defensive purposes.
He was limping.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah,
I didn't even notice.
Embiid fell on, like they took him off.
Embiid falls on a lot of people. That big mother.
You know, right? Well,
Kyle Schwarber with the home run, making it a 3-2 game.
Kyle Schwarber. But here's the thing now. If you look at how they're playing currently, now I don't expect them to win much. If they win the playing game, okay. But we get Boston or not Boston, we get Philly again, or we get Milwaukee. Like that's a great prize to win. No, but selfishly,
you don't want Milwaukee.
Selfishly, fellas, I don't want them to make the playoffs, and here's why. I want them to get rid of this coaching staff now.
But they just re-signed him.
They did, but AK is making a big mistake.
Oh, he fucked up.
I mean, I won't disagree with that.
I still say the lack of perimeter shooting, but yet all we do is shoot threes. I saw a play where Vooch had a smaller guard on the
I was so pissed at that play, man.
And he went right back out, swung the ball, 3 by Beverly, missed. But it's like, Donovan, teach Nelson the house.
I disagree. The Bulls statistically shoot like among the fewest threes in the league, and they miss most of them as well.
That's what I'm saying. They always missing.
They're always missing them, but volume-wise,
it just looks like they shoot so much because they.
But volume-wise, they're not shooting as much as the rest of the teams in the league. Actually,
yeah, and that's Billy Donovan doesn't play that 3-point type shooting.
No, he plays a lot of ISO.
He doesn't have the horses to play that type of game. Horses.
But I mean, at the same time, like, where you're going with the like Vooch type thing, like there was one, I believe it was in the first overtime too, where he also had a small on him, and Zach LaVine was getting ready to cut, but then he turned and says, "No, take him 1-on-1," and then Vooch passed it to him like he was cutting. It was just like, "Oh my God, Vooch, take it to the guy's 6'7" on you right now. You're a 7-footer. Destroy him."
You know, Vooch, he's the type of player that has to be set up. Sometimes he doesn't seem aware of like his matchup. Sometimes, you know what I mean? Yeah.
But to me, that screams they're not really running the plays in certain situations for him. When you have that
stupid
mismatch,
high screen bullshit.
like I would purposely call for the screen in the mismatch to put 6'11" versus 6'2". Like I would purposely do that.
For sure.
But he's got to take it. And that's why I said, like, Donovan is not. And then I said it, Frank. Remember, we talked about it. I said it in draft day. What was the point of drafting Daylon Terry? What was the point?
0 point. He makes very funny faces on the bench
because they had to draft somebody.
Him for energy.
But
he's the great energy guy.
He's a great energy guy on the bench.
Forward. Draft somebody that just wants to get rebounds. Like, my God, it's not rocket science. Here we go again with somebody trying to be the smartest guy in the room.
Right.
Like, I'm so tired of our GMs because here's one thing. In Chicago, when we're great, we're great. But, man, when we bad, it's awful. There is no in-between. And right now, the Bulls are in purgatory. We are in mediocrity hell right now.
Yeah.
And he hitched his wagon to Lonzo. And I'm not saying anything bad about Lonzo. I think Lonzo was a good pickup for what we were trying to do.
Bad luck, man. Horrible.
But, I mean, the injury bug was following him when he left LA. Like, we knew this was a possibility.
Yeah, absolutely. This shouldn't have been a surprise.
Right.
I mean, I shouldn't say it shouldn't have been a surprise. I don't think anybody saw an injury of this magnitude coming. Injuries.
And if they did, I would call them a liar.
Yeah. Nobody saw like this career-threatening injury that he's undergone. But yeah, you're right, JB. Like he hasn't been healthy his entire career. Dating back to his time with the Lakers. And some of that was probably to be expected. But I think I think he gambled a little bit too much on Lonzo this offseason. And Lonzo's return, he gambled a little bit too much on there. And now that it hasn't happened, like the bottom is falling out. And I mean, the Pat Beverly signing, I mean, let's not act like, that was a brilliant move by AK. He kind of just fell in our lap.
No, Bev wanted to come here.
He had already said he wanted to come here.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It wasn't a strategic thing by AK to get him here. They were going after somebody else, as a matter of fact. But he ended up here, and, man, he has provided a spark for this team, like a much-needed spark. And to keep it simple, he's a point guard, and that's who we needed. That's who this team, besides another big, I think a point guard
makes a very good point right here too, because I heard Will Perdue say that too.
But that's the thing. We want him to be. Hey, dude,
absolutely.
Be selfish, please.
If he's calling a play for you to be on the outside, you go like, no, fuck that. I'm going on the inside.
Yeah,
please.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kirsten. Perfect. Because here's the thing that anybody that knows basketball knows. I don't care about this new era or not. When it comes to the playoffs, it's still a half-court game.
Yes,
Look at Milwaukee. They excel in it.
Yes, sir.
Right? We need, and I'm not even saying that there's a slimmer of hope, right? But let's just say it is. Moving on to next year, if you don't revamp the style of offense, you're going to do the exact same thing again. I don't need Vooch shooting 7 threes a game, but I need him taking 15 shots at least. At least. And give me more than half of them in the paint, move it to the basket, hopefully some pick and rolls instead of pick and pops, because that's what they normally run. Get something moving to the basket. And I'm sorry, I know AK to jump the gun on this. Who are we drafting this year? Because the draft this year is it's a bunch of IG kids.
Yeah.
It's not even like.
Well, let me ask you, JB, from a personnel perspective, what do you think is needed to make this team better? So like that they're not say that they don't want to blow this team up.
Mm-hmm.
What is needed? Are you going to re-sign Vooch? Are you going to try to bring Vooch back?
I would try to bring Vooch back, because if you don't, there's like you just wasted that pick. You wasted that trade. You wasted it. But I say this because it's not a sexy answer. You need the best college 3-point shooter. Like go get Hauser from Michigan State. Like give me somebody that's just.
I don't care if this guy can't drive or anything. I just want to spot a 3-point shooter.
They need that Klay Thompson type. 3-point shooter.
Klay Thompson. a guy who doesn't need the ball in his hand to be effective. Yeah.
That's
what clear though. Like Klay Thompsons don't grow on trees, right?
No,
absolutely. But
you're just saying his 3-point shooting ability.
You need a good catch and shoot guy.
He's a great catch and shoot guy.
You need a good catch and shoot guy.
The Bulls don't really have that.
No,
but you need to run plays too for a catch and shoot guy because they don't even.
Well, no, they're there because they move the ball and it's a wide open three. It's Ayo taking the three.
Yes.
He
really needs to learn how to shoot, man.
You hit it on the head.
He really needs
when they would double up on Zach or double up on Jamar, who ends up taking the shot is Ayo, and Ayo doesn't hit the shot. So you hit it on the head.
This is one thing where I'm gonna say with JB and the coaching type thing. What's the best way to beat it? I know we beat him yesterday, but guess what? It's not gonna happen in a 7-game series. What's the best way to beat the Sixers?
Speed him up.
Thank you. Embiid, you need to keep him moving all the time. So he is worn out by the fourth quarter. Mm-hmm. The Bulls had 14 fast break points yesterday. That is unacceptable when you are going up against a guy like Embiid. And I heard Stacey King saying it over and over and over again. Move it, move it, move it. Embiid drove the lane. He's getting there. Make him run full speed back and wear him out.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't do it. And Embiid had 5 fouls with 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And they never attacked him.
He had those 5 fouls a long time. Like, man, if I'm Billy Donovan, I'm going at him every time.
Every time.
And I get it. He's a superstar, so it's going to need to be something very specific to get him to get that 6th foul.
Well,
but
that 6th foul
keep going at him. Keep going at him until you get that 6th foul. Yeah,
it's just very annoying because that's the thing where coaching needs to get his head out of his ass. Like, what are you talking to these people about at the timeouts? You should be saying Embiid has 5 fouls, guys. Embiid has 5 fouls. Levine, every time you have the ball, drive the lane. I don't care if you miss it. I don't care. Get the foul. Get him out of the game. Because guess what? The Bulls can beat the Sixers in a 7-game series if Embiid is not there. Easily.
If he's out,
if he's out all 6 games.
Yeah, if he's out all 6 games.
I'm just saying in general, if you run that system every game where you're wearing him down, because James Harden's already proved throughout his entire career he's non-existent in the postseason.
In the playoffs.
Well, yeah.
So they don't have – I mean, Maxey is probably their number 2 right now when it comes down to postseason play, which is a good number 2.
It is, and then you can't sleep on Tobias Harris. Like, you can't just totally just –
yeah, that's another weapon.
Yeah, they got good core players.
I mean, because on paper, like if you go top, they can go 4. Because if you go Harden, Embiid, Maxey, and Harris, that's a problem.
No, yeah, that's a lot of size. And
that's a problem.
I mean, and it's especially a problem for these Bulls.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about for us. It's a problem for us.
Hello, Melissa.
Yeah. Hello, definitely a problem for us. Let's see. Resign Vooch, get a consistent 3-point. Absolutely.
Point guard.
Absolutely. Oh, you said sign Kobe at this point. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, if you go between Kobe and Ayo.
Remember, he was on the trading block when they were trying to get weren't they trying
I like what Kobe
Kevin
has done
Huerter?
in his game.
Were they trying to trade to Atlanta to get Huerter?
I like what Kobe White has done in his game, though, this offseason. I still need more consistency at that 3-point line for him because I would love for him to be that spot-up 3-point shooter that we want.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, I would love for them to call plays to kind of open him up for quick. Like, why can't we have Kobe White in the corner shooting fucking threes instead of Ayo? Why can't we set up a play like that?
Because people ain't so quick to leave Kobe open the way they're quick to leave Ayo open.
But then what are you going to do?
they know their personnel.
Leave Zach LaVine and DeRozan one-on-one?
I mean, that's what they've been doing. And it's like seriously, the only reason that we've seen this little burst is because the way that Pat Beverly single-handedly sped the Bulls up. If you all watch, single-handedly, and he's literally telling them, "Man, let's go." And the transition game now, I know Bucks. I don't know if you knew this about me personally or Frank. We're kind of the ilk of trade Pat Williams, like get something for the kid before he walks.
He's had a good year this year.
Power
Might be able to get some more.
Yeah, we need somebody down there 6'9", 6'10" that's just going like a Jared Allen, but maybe not as tall.
I've never been really big on P. Will. Honestly, he's he's playing out of position. I feel like because
100%.
He's too small.
They completely killed his development.
Yeah, he's playing out of position.
And I hate to say it too. And just to answer onto the P-Dub, DeMar DeRozan, I love him. Mm-hmm. He's not your future. If you're going to be able to get a dominant three-point shooter or a very good defensive big who is going to help Vooch out so Vooch can play his game, why not?
Yeah.
I mean,
and then that will be that's only if you think PW is ready for that next step, because
I love
to take that DeRozan role.
I love how a month ago nobody would have wanted to keep Levine over DeRozan.
Right.
Now it's totally flipped because I mean Levine is healthy and you can see it, and I think some of that Pat Beverly magic. You know what I mean?
He's a little angry too.
He got he missed the All-Star game and and he's kind of taking it on the chin in the media a little bit. He's not the most friendly guy, you know what I mean? So he doesn't kind of get that like, oh well, we like him, so we'll give him a break. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's a little crusty, but well, I've heard that many times before. But
I think that's a hell of a compliment. I love me some Heavy D, man.
I was definitely a fan. Rest in peace to Heavy D.
But yeah, if we can get that Taj Gibson type player back in,
that'd be huge.
We would definitely.
Taj Gibson's still out there for God's sakes, man.
Yeah,
because I mean, and
do you bring
draft? Oh my God!
Do we bring Monroe back? I mean,
you talking about
Drummond? You mean
Drummond? I'm sorry. Yeah.
I mean, I think Donovan used him more than he used Tristan Thompson last year. I'll give him that. But there are still certain situations where coaching is idiots. It's like, oh, wait, we're playing big ball now? All right, let's play small ball. It's like, what the fuck?
I honestly think
I don't get that shit.
Drummond just played his way into a starting position on another team this year.
I do think he can be a starter on another team.
I really, really, really feel he did, because like if you watched when he was in the game, he was very, very efficient.
He is very efficient.
And when I speak about the reboundings, y'all, I'm talking about the offensive rebounding category, right? He's down there getting 50-50 balls, which we knew was a problem. All that
when we were one of the best free throw years too.
So
you know what I wanted to see? I wanted to see girls, they love me. I'm an overweight lover. I wanted to see a little bit more of Drummond and Vooch in together.
Yeah,
I know that kind of like, well, who's your backup? But I just think it would have opened it up for Vooch so much if you have Drummond in there with him sometimes.
I would have liked to see that and then bring the European. I would have liked to see that and bring the European guy who's doing very well in the G League right now to come back up, Vooch and them, because I don't understand why that guy's still in the G League.
You talking about Kurt? I can't even say it.
It's just to the point where I can't even remember his name anymore because he's never up here. But I mean, he's averaging 20 points a game.
He was our second round pick, right?
Yeah, he's averaging like 20 and 14 in the G League, but he's not shooting it. But he's shooting at like a 70% rate. Yeah, so I mean, it's just like he can shoot the three. He's posting up. He's getting rebounds. I don't.
AK gave us Goran Dragic, man. Like
thanks. I didn't mind the Dragic.
I'm not sold on AK and his vision right now.
Yeah, I kind of lost that too.
That ship has sailed.
Thank you, Kristen.
Switching gears real quick. It's the 9th inning, and we're about to get a Shohei Ohtani versus Mike Trout matchup.
Here we go.
Oh,
this is what we've been waiting for.
3-2 game.
3-2. Japan's got the lead.
Too bad we couldn't post it in the middle. And
that'd be awesome. Yeah. Kind of pop it on here.
Hey, coming soon.
You get my reaction. That's for sure. You'll get my reaction.
But we definitely have to You know, and then something else that we didn't really bring up, guys, is when you look at the Bulls now, presently constructed, there's only so much that we can do with the roster, like the Javonte Greens and the Jones Jr. Like,
I love Jones Jr. more than Javonte.
But those players don't fit Donovan's system.
No, they don't,
because those are run and gun, you know, transition players, and we're trying to be slow and methodical, and we don't have that type of personnel. So it's almost like if we don't get rid of the GM or the coach, who's next? Somebody's got to go. You can't go into next season with this. At one point we had 5 point guards on the team, fellas. 5. Why? Right. 5 point guards and didn't have one.
And that didn't equal to one solid one.
Right. So it was like, you know, what are we really doing? So the hot take on the Bulls right now is, hey, ride this wave, get a little momentum, enjoy the show that Patrick Beverly and the boys are putting on right now. But
that's all you can get right now.
Don't expect.
Hey, who knows? What if they surprise and win a few games in the first round? They win the buy-in or the play-in.
Well, you gotta.
We say that every year.
They would have to win 2 because they would be 10, right? They would have to win 2 games to get in, right?
No, I thought both of them. Is that how it works? If you're 10, you got to win 2 games.
Well, it's a little tournament.
I thought it was 7 plays 10, 9 plays 8, and it's just winner take all. That's what I thought it was.
Just one game playing.
Yeah,
right?
I thought it was just one
game.
No,
because I remember.
No, you're right, JB. Because
you
can lose a game and still have a chance.
Still have it because the Lakers did it.
Yeah. I'm not clear on it, but
I'll have to look
Kristen could help us out on that. But because somebody, I think it was the Lakers, they did lose.
Okay, so Kristen
get another shot.
Fire. Look at this. Kristen's on fire. 7, 8
has 7 and 8. You have 2 chances. That's what I thought.
So you have to beat the 7th and the 8th seed twice.
No, if you're the 7th and the 8th seed and you lose the playing game, then you get a second chance to jump back in. That's what it was. Because I was like, it wasn't Golden State. It was Golden State that beat the Lakers 2 years ago. I think something like that. I can't readily off the top of my head remember, but it's something to that degree. But point being is, I wouldn't hitch my wagon to this truck because it's gonna stop.
No, it's not gonna give you much. You just hope for some noise. That's all you really want right now, because you can lose out every single game. It's not giving you any better of a seed to get a draft pick, so it's really not gonna matter.
Nope.
So you might as well just ride it out and see what you got and see what because I mean, you really have to go into next season, which you should have went into this season. Like, you have to go into next season going like, Lonzo's not our guy anymore. We're done. We need to find a new true point guard. I don't even care if they want to bring Patrick Beverly back for a whole season. I wouldn't be against that. And then go out and get some 3-point shooting.
Hey, if AJ Hogarth is available for Michigan State, get him.
Spartan love. But I mean, since we still got bullets on, right? Are we gonna start talking about these Lakers and Queen Dreams?
Here's hey, bullets. Here's what I gotta say. This is the most glass house porcelain china doll guy that I've ever seen in my life. Like, he is so insecure that he can't even let Anthony Davis and them boys right now just run the team without him saying, "Oh, wait a minute, don't do it without me." Because when they were in the dumpster, he wasn't even thinking about coming back. And I'm just like, as crazy as this sounds, and I'm not saying wins and losses per se, but they actually played right now better without him. Everybody touches the ball. Like, people that are supposed to rebound are actually rebounding the ball. He's not getting all the rebound. Austin Reeves is actually not scared to shoot. He had, I think, 35 the other day or something. Like,
yeah. And he had to call him out and make sure he was the center of attention because LeBron James tweeted how great he was.
Yeah, how dare he tweet in support of a teammate? Jordan would never.
I know. I always give him a hard time about that because I think it's the media who pushes that shit.
He wasn't tweeting in support when they were losing. It was like,
no, he never said a damn thing when
I need to get some people in here to blah, 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 blah. He changed it to, instead of addressing the losing, he changed it to, my son is better than a lot of NBA players. What? Hey, man, look here. He's not, by the way. He's not.
No, he's not.
Not yet.
Yeah, you know, as far as his sons go, I think the younger one, I think he's the one.
You know what? Go ahead.
Go watch out for.
But they say he don't even like basketball for real.
And that's exactly why he's gonna be the one. And he got the height.
Yeah, right.
But we had Marcus Pfizer on here. Like a few months ago?
Yeah,
it was like a few months ago, and he actually brought that up. Because he says he actually coached both LeBrons at a training camp and actually played against them in games and everything too. He said Bronny's good, but there is no shot if he is going to be a one and done college player that he's going to have any success. If he wants to have success, he needs to stay all 4 years in college and improve his game because he is not ready. But the youngest is already way above his brother ever was.
All I gotta say is this.
Okay.
I'm gonna say all I gotta say, and I'm lying because I know I got more to say, but I'm gonna say
we
this.
know.
But by the way, we got Mike Trout on deck. No, he's not on deck. He's in the hole.
He's in the hole.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Waiting to face Ohtani.
Keep us posted. Keep us posted. It's still 3-2.
Yeah.
Still 3-2.
So here's my take on this. If you all went back, I want to say it was last week. Sierra Canyon got blew out by Master P's son, Mercy Miller.
Oh, sorry. I'm watching the game and Ohtani just missed 3-2 pitch, barely missed the bottom half of the zone. Anyway, continue.
Mercy Miller went out there and said, I'm going to show you who the best player is. And he's only a junior. Bronny ain't ready. As soon as he goes to D1 and they're trying to say that he's going to be a one and done, it's some real boys out here in D1. As you see in the tournament now, they're going to be chomping at the bit to show you he's
got a target on his back. You know what I'm saying? Who doesn't want to take it to LeBron's son?
No, and I mean
he's not equipped.
That makes it even worse when LeBron comes out and says all this. He's like, "Yeah, my son's going to get great college offers because I'm his fucking dad."
Hey, look here.
I mean, yeah, he's saying all the wrong things.
He's terrible. He's his son's worst PR person. But he was talking about Ohio State is on his list. That little boy ain't gonna make it in the Big Ten, man.
No, he's gonna get destroyed in the Big Ten.
Trust me, I know the Big Ten. He ain't gonna make it in the Big Ten. He's not. He better go to Oregon.
Winning run at the plate.
Shoot.
Mookie Betts. We might not even get to Trout. We will.
But enough about LeBron.
4-6-3. 2 outs. Ohtani going up against Mike Trout for the championship.
That's
how many on base?
2 outs.
How many on base?
None. You just got a 4-6-3 double play.
Oh, okay.
Damn.
So tying run at the plate now.
Yeah, he has to have a home run to tie it. Yeah.
This is crazy.
That guy is a ridiculous pitcher too, man.
Here we go. We got 2 teammates, 2 stars. Well, no, ex-teammates, because Ohtani hasn't signed, has he?
No, I thought they did sign him just to like a 1 or 2 year
deal.
No,
they're teammates. They both play for the Angels.
You got 1 more year.
You got 1 more year? Okay.
He still got 1 more.
This is crazy. This is
he's gonna break the bank.
This is one of the best players in baseball going up against
one of the best players in baseball.
It is 2 of the best players in baseball.
It's the best.
Arguably the top 3, 2 of the top 3 players in
top
baseball.
2. These are the top 2 players.
I mean,
in baseball
yeah. I just trying to make it interesting by saying top 3.
Man. So we got
who do we put in 3?
And they still can't win though. The Angels still can't win.
I don't got a cable box down here.
You know, the best. They got the best player in the league, and Mike Trout, and they still can't win any games.
That's because they only got 2 players.
They have other good ones. They have, Rendon's supposed to be pretty good.
Not when it matters the most, he isn't.
No, he's not bad. But that's telling because
1 count.
Bucks. He's gonna break the bank, right? He gonna be that $400 million guy.
Yeah.
Well, he'll be the highest paid.
I think he'll get $500,000. I really do, because he's 2 players.
Yeah, when you got an ace pitcher and a great hitter, like that's
what was Tatis?
Like, imagine if Justin Fields was also a linebacker.
No, I don't want to.
I know, right? No, I know. It's a scary thought.
Different game right there.
But what is Tatis? Tatis got 330.
2-2. Oh, this is too epic. I can't handle this.
God, I wish we could watch it live on here.
Look, I'm listening in.
I'll give you the play-by-play, man. I am, 2-2, 2 outs, top of the ninth. Ohtani and Trout.
Foul ball. Here it comes.
You're probably right. Nope. Ball in the dirt at 102. Jesus.
Oh, Emilio, really? Is this?
Oh,
Emilio, you fucking rock star.
We're on a little bit of a delay though.
I don't care.
Okay.
I don't care. Easy, don't blow it now. We're watching it on here.
I won't blow it, but my reactions might,
His reactions, he can't help it.
Full count too. Huh?
Get your drink and hold it in.
Right? Just all over.
If Easy's gonna run out of the room because he's just gonna want to do something.
You're gonna give him that gas.
What a fucking pitch.
Slider on a slider.
It is like a Randy Johnson slider.
Got him.
It is just freaking ridiculous.
It's insane.
Got him.
Late.
Kudos to Japan, man.
Honestly, I can't even be mad because I can't root against Ohtani. It's just not my nature. I just he's what everyone wanted to be growing up.
Man, he can do it all.
He is clearly something that we thought we would never see.
Yeah.
Somebody who is literally a pitcher and one of the greatest hitters in the league, too. It's just
actually we saw that in the early 1900s.
Yeah, Babe Ruth was the last one who was able to do this.
Yeah,
shit.
But I mean,
it was Babe freaking Ruth.
Black people couldn't play.
I mean,
that's true.
That's a whole other conversation, but
But at some point, they told Babe Ruth, "You can't pitch anymore either." So
that's true. It's like having a world taco making contest, but Mexico's not invited.
Oh wow!
It's like,
and then so I'm gonna flip this and be like, why can't the White Sox pay him whatever that he wants, Kristen? He can come to the South Side too if he wants.
Cubs better pay, bro. Yeah, the Cubs got some money.
I know they got the Japanese guy there right now who's trying to recruit him to come too.
As a Cubs fan, I think it's more likely he goes to the Cubs than the White Sox. But I don't think
hands down. I agree.
I do too. Not as a Cubs fan. I'm a White Sox fan, but I think it would be more likely he ends up if he were to come to Chicago.
I think he's going to go to New York, either New York team.
It's not as marketable anymore, though. Ever since Ricketts took it over, the market has died a lot for the Cubs.
In some ways, yes, but
it's still way up there. Don't get me wrong.
They're still
it has died a lot.
But they're still one of the number one selling franchises for merchandise.
Hey, they're worth. I think it was $4 billion. It just came out yesterday. I think
because we have amazing uniforms. Let's be real. It's just a really nice look. The bear on the front.
Cubs?
It's a good logo. A clean logo.
I mean, actually, they're trying to rip off the Bears, man. It's not the Cubs are not a great looking uniform. They just
let's
not rip on my Blackhawks in that uniform.
Just a baby bear.
Let's not rip on my Blackhawks in that uniform either.
Oh no, sick uniforms, especially the road.
Blackhawks got sick unis. Yeah, their whole shit.
White Sox have great uniforms. The one uniform in Chicago that I don't think are amazing is the Bulls, but it's not bad.
Right.
I mean, if they put that bullhead on their jerseys a little bit more.
The city uniform is nice,
but
the city.
I do like that city uniform. That is a nice uniform.
But the classic Bulls, it's tradition.
It's so old.
It's just tradition. It looks.
Well, hey guys, I gotta jump. But thank you guys for having me on.
Yeah. Plug your show again for me.
Give a shout out to my partner in crime, Kristen Petit. We will be back on April 2nd. Rick, sucks. April 2nd, the season 3 premiere of Plunked, 8:00 Central. Myself.
You guys already done season 3. My fault.
Season 3 will be season 3. Yeah, we don't talk about baseball during the off season like football.
Honestly, I don't know if we would have been able to keep talking about football if they didn't get the number 1 overall pick.
Y'all would have found a way, I'm sure.
Well, no, because number 2 would have. I mean, we still would have been.
Yeah, I guess.
In a good spot.
All right, boys. You have a good night.
All right,
take care.
Good to see you.
Yes, sir.
Oh, bullets with some fun facts.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Oh, we knew that from the Illini.
I didn't know that.
Well, they were back to the 1800s. Like,
well, yeah, I wasn't alive.
I mean, I wasn't either, man. But damn, Frank.
I know, right? Oh,
but for real, like, here's like, we're gonna jump back because I know it's getting towards that hour. We're gonna wrap it up a little early. But here's one thing to really keep focused on. I had got a text message from a fan, and that person was saying, at any point, would you trade Justin Fields to the Ravens for Lamar Jackson?
No, zero.
No.
I said, whoa.
Zero.
But to even think about that, like, that never crossed my mind, right?
What would come out of it? That's what I really don't understand.
I don't know, because it's almost like the same.
Other than
player,
getting a name, who pretty much Justin Fields did exactly what he does last year. The only difference
it's almost like getting the same player.
He cost $20 million cheaper.
Except you get an MVP. That's what you get.
Yes, that's what I'm going as far as with the name. He's got an MVP. Okay. I mean, I understand where you're going with that one. But getting a name in here doesn't mean it's going to work. Hey, Nick Foles came in here after he won a Super Bowl. Did that work? No. Like, Justin Fields, like, I saw more, and I'm not saying I agree with this one at all because I clearly don't too. I saw more of a point in trading him to get the number 1 overall pick and drafting a quarterback. I saw more of that than I did in Lamar Jackson. It
just speaks to me. It just speaks to how you never know what a person's thinking. Like, if that was a thought in somebody's boardroom, it's like, wait a minute, damn, really? And then it's like, well, check it out. It's like, well, yeah, I know when he won MVP, he actually led the NFL in passing touchdowns. Like, he actually really did that. But it's like, same player, one's older, one's been hurt twice, one's been hurt,
and one wants to get paid $50 million plus a year.
Right, and I'm like, nah, let me stick with J1. Let me stick with J1
for now. Yeah, we got to see what J1 could do.
I want to see. That's more. See, easy. You're like me. I kind of want to see what the kid can do.
Absolutely.
With the reins taken off, I want.
Let me ask you this too, because you might know a little bit more about this than me. Justin Fields still got one more year, and we're more than likely going to pick up his 5th-year option again for the next year.
You will. They will.
Yes, that's a guarantee. But if you say, again, devil's advocate here, he has a damn good year, and you lock him up now, thinking that you may not have to go as much 2 years down the road. Does he still play out those additional 2 years, or is the following year is when he gets that big contract?
It goes to the next year. But here's the thing. You can't, his agent is not going to let him sign before he knows what Justin Herbert gets. What
very true.
What's my man in Cincinnati? Joe Burrow get, it's other factors. And here we go. Trust and believe that the CBA is going to change, because the whole reason Lamar Jackson is not getting paid right now is because the owners are mad as hell at Jimmy Haslam for giving Deshaun Watson $230 million guaranteed.
Yeah.
They're livid. Like, why the hell would you do that?
I really hope that bites him in the ass too, because I couldn't believe they did that shit either.
But it's gonna hurt that next group, because now it's like, well, hey, wait a minute, I'm Joe Burrow. I've been to the Super Bowl. I've been to 2 AFC championships. Why can't I get $400 million?
Joe Burrow's already come out and said that I will work my contract to make sure that Higgins and Chase both stay. And I don't want to be, and he's pulling the Tom Brady thing right now. I don't want to be the highest paid quarterback if you're not going to put help around me. That's exactly what Burrow said.
And all I say is, look at Patrick Mahomes' contract.
Yeah.
When you
it's actually somewhat friendly right now.
It's actually team friendly.
Yes.
And he's like what, 500 something? Easy. What is Patrick Mahomes right now?
He was over 5 million. I know that. Yeah.
No, 500.
No, 5. That's what I meant. Yes, 500. Yeah. He's over 500 million.
So we talking about
it was like 6-7 years.
There's the $500 million player right there.
Yeah.
You know, he already exists. So it's not about what's coming. So
but that's also where I'm going at. You look at them putting in the trust that he's not going to get hurt because they gave him a longer contract than they usually give most quarterbacks. And that's where I was going. Like, if you can convince Justin Fields to take $25-30 million after next season for 4 or 5 years and just hope to the gods that he does not get hurt.
Perspective. Let me give you a bit of perspective. It's a team-friendly deal right now. But do you realize the next 2 years, Daniel Jones is making $40 million a year?
I know. And
Daniel Jones.
Yeah, I know. But that is just New York being a bunch of idiots. And again, that also leads into thank you, Deshaun Watson. Because Daniel Jones
it's what the market is dictating. So here, devil's advocate. Daniel Jones gets $40 million, but Lamar Jackson can't get $40 million. Make it make sense.
Well, was he
Lamar
not?
Jackson can get that money if he goes to a different team, though. I think.
Was he not offered 130? I'm pretty sure he was offered 133 million for 3 years.
He was offered 200 million,
but it was only 133 guaranteed.
Yes, it was only 133 guaranteed. He wanted full guaranteed money,
and he wanted that extra year. He wanted that extra year. He basically wanted $1 more than what Deshaun Watson got, or the exact same contract.
Yeah.
And
I get it, man. I mean, yeah, like Deshaun hasn't proven nearly as much, in my opinion, as Lamar has. And I also think that
hell of a quarterback in Houston. He's
a better pocket quarterback.
Sure. He hasn't done as accomplishment.
But you gave him that money with all these lawsuits that are still floating around. I mean, you took a big gamble on Deshaun Watson because you don't know what else is going to come.
The Browns are still idiots. Let's be real. All right.
Yes, they've always been idiots.
They caught lightning in a bottle once. But other than that, like it's a dumbass franchise. Okay, like
I mean it is. But the lightning in the bottle they caught wasn't even them. It's when they changed the name to the damn Ravens.
No, I'm saying the lightning in a bottle that they caught was in 2020.
Yeah,
when they when they beat the Steelers in the playoffs. But yes, you're right. Like
Baker Mayfield.
People need to remember, like this is not like the Browns. These Browns are not the same Browns as Bernie Kosar's Browns. That's the Ravens, right? Like it's not. An NFL team is not the same thing as like a supermarket chain, you know, going from one state to another. But okay, Kroger's is still Ralph's, is still Schnucks, whatever, right? This is, you know, like the Browns were reborn as a entirely different franchise from their history, and they've basically been a ghost of what they were.
Why the hell do you need your team, the Browns, anyway? I don't get that.
Says a guy who roots for a team called the White Sox.
Like, I mean, at least it's a sock.
At least it's something.
Like, at least it's a sock. What the hell is a brown?
Well,
why didn't you just go to the Washington Commanders, the Washington Reds?
That's true too.
Oh yeah, there is a Cincinnati Reds too. I just realized that after I said that.
I mean, I'm being funny here, but I would have named them the Washington Red Fins, like
that's funny.
Red Fins. But
I would have named them like. Oh wait, I had one.
I always liked.
I like the Red Tails. I thought Red Tails was cool.
I liked one that always floated around.
Yeah, I'm cool with either one.
There was always one that floated around.
I think Commanders is stupid. I think Commanders is a dumbass name.
Yeah, unless it's the G.I. Joe Cobra Commander logo, you know.
Oh, that'd be badass logo.
That'd be kind of
That'd be a badass logo. But I always joke around because there's this one thing going around. They should be called the Washington Possums because they always play dead in the fourth quarter.
Woo!
I was like, damn.
That's savage.
Nice. That was a good comeback.
Dang, that's a knee slapper.
But I mean, what would you rather prefer, the Washington Commanders or the Cleveland Guardians?
I like Guardians. Guardians is.
I think I would take a Commander over a Guardian.
I did not like Guardians at first, but then the more I read into it, I was like,
I will never call them the Guardians. I will never call them the Commanders.
But here's the thing:
it's like Star Trek. And shit.
Why are we even doing that? Because you can't. They have changed their names, but Florida State is still the Seminoles. San Diego State.
There's a lot of teams who won't do it.
You know,
the Chicago Blackhawks.
Aztecs, woo!
Won't happen.
Blackhawks, right? Like it's almost pointless.
When you think about it, because the Cleveland logo was like a dark red skinned mascot named Chief Wahoo who like ran around going like, oh, like that was a little,
who was a
little
chief.
on the nose.
It was
that's
representing a chief. It was
Right.
representing a chief.
It's
like,
a little more.
I always understood the Washington Redskins because a redskin was a derogatory word to call an Indian. I understood that.
Right. That
Other than that, I don't agree with any of the other ones.
Right. I mean,
because they're mostly tribes.
Washington Redskin. Yes, I understand that one. Indians. I understood it a little more just because of how like cartoonish the mascot was. But like when it comes to like Seminoles or Blackhawks or like something that actually talks about like a specific tribe,
Atlanta Brave.
I think that's cool. I think
they're still trying to get rid of those too, but it'll never happen.
Like if someone named a team the Jews, I'd be all for that. But like it would never happen. But I'd like it. But it's a little different.
But isn't
I
it?
could go with the Puerto Ricans.
But wait, we say that, but isn't one of the number one tobacco companies the Redskin Chewing Tobacco Company?
Yes, they didn't get rid of that.
Like
I've never heard of that until just now.
That was one of the first ones who came out with chewing tobacco, and they're still the biggest.
And I'm like, so I mean, maybe we're being a tad bit oversensitive as a society, but I mean, it's whatever.
I'd never heard of that tobacco company, by the way.
It's something like that. I know a lot of obscure stuff.
The Bullets, they can call a team the Puerto Rican Marshmallows. I won't mind it. I'm Puerto Rican.
What about the red-skinned potatoes? Those are pretty good.
They're good.
I could go for some.
I could go for some red potatoes myself.
Yeah, man.
The Glass House LeBron James.
Oh,
is that a soft story?
My favorite Onion article is.
Hey, wait, is Bullets still on?
Oh, yeah, he commented on the last one. That's why I said it.
Lord, there was an Onion article.
Love you, Bullets.
Where it was like Washington Redskins changed their name to DC Redskins, which I thought was a very funny Onion headline. So that's a good one. It's like you're missing the point, man. You're missing the point.
Yeah. Puerto Rican isn't right. I mean, neither is a Blackhawk.
I guess that's true.
That's where I'm going. I understand the Redskins.
Hey, speaking of Blackhawk, Blackhawk Down was a pretty damn good movie.
It was a great movie, damn.
I liked it.
Yeah.
Also, aren't they paying homage to like a guy named who went by Blackhawk? That's what I've read about that name. Like,
wait, what?
I've read that like aren't the Blackhawks named after like a specific?
It's named after a tribe. It's named after a person. It's named after a person who was the leader of a tribe.
Yeah, exactly.
He was pretty much the name of that made the tribe. But I mean, the Blackhawks actually pay that tribe money every single game.
Oh,
like
that's
literally, they honor them before every single game. The Blackhawk or the actual the person who's like pretty much like in charge of that tribe, or however they do it nowadays, came out and said it was like you getting rid of the Blackhawks logo would do nothing more than hurt our name more than anything.
There you go.
Because the Blackhawks honor and respect us, and that's why we love having them as the representative of our name.
I never actually heard that story before. That's really cool.
I think that came out in like 2020, 2019 or something like that when they started getting pressure on doing it. But if you ever like watch like the Blackhawks game and you see when they do the national anthem, you will always see one of the Indian tribe people out on the ice every single game.
I respect it. I like that a lot.
I like
it's really cool. Man, I'm hyped for baseball.
If you're going to do it, you do it the right way.
There you go. Easy. Let's get to some shout outs.
All right. First off, shout out to T-Nick, and, I know what he's going through right now. Much love to you, man. I know that's got to be so hard, and, may his memory be a blessing. We miss you. We look forward to you coming back whenever that may be, but obviously take as much time as you need. Shout out to, the whole chat for joining us, making the show go well and smoothly. It's always fun to interact with you guys, and Emilio and Anthony for hopping on. Always fun talking to you guys. It's just a lot of fun to have you guys. Shout out to you guys. We're having a good time up here hosting the show. Shout out to my speaking of San Diego State. Shout out to my San Diego State Aztecs making the Sweet 16. We got Bama on Friday. No Nick Saban to save you all this time. This is on the court. So, let's I'm looking forward to settling that. Let's go.
You looking forward to that, huh?
Oh, of course. I'm super excited. I mean, look, I'm not expecting to win, but it is cool to be back in the Sweet 16, and it's cool that my school's still around. Like that's sick. So yeah, shout out to my Aztecs. Also shout out to my mom's Bruins for still being in at UCLA. They're expected to go much further, as and I'd like to see them go far. Shout out to the World Baseball Classic, because that was some of the best baseball I've ever seen. Absolutely loved it. Did wonders for the sport, I think, in terms of popularity. Shout out to the Bulls for playing some good ball lately. Shout out to the who else? I had another one in mind. I guess just the Bears for making nice moves. All the new Bears, like Robert Tunyon, since we did our last show. Welcome to the Bears, and whoever else has joined.
Loved his tweet, by the way. Did you see that?
He actually said he always wanted to be a Bear. I love that. From the Packers, he always wanted to be a Bear. That's awesome.
That's
beautiful, especially since he's from the Packers. Oh, and shout out to the Jets, but please make the Aaron Rodgers trade the trade happen.
It's not gonna happen anytime soon if the Green Bay Packers are still asking for 2 first-round draft picks for freaking a 37-year-old quarterback who's gonna.
It'll happen after June 1st when they don't.
It'll take a while after training camp is over, so Aaron doesn't have to play. Is when it's gonna happen.
No, they don't. The Packers don't. Even if they get the 2 first-round picks, they don't want that $40 million cap hit.
Very true. That too. Yeah, very true.
That's and also, shout out to my show. Easy Does It. It goes live on Thursdays at 8:30 Central Time. We just had former Bears cornerback DJ Moore, not the receiver, cornerback. We had a great time chopping it up for a while. My friend Noah Gross and I hopped on and we talked about to DJ for a while. Picked his brain about a lot of things, including Justin Fields. So we've had some really good shows lately. Thursday we're probably gonna have another really good show. I'm very excited for that. So yeah, shout out to my show. Please tune in. Easy Does It, 8:30 Central on Thursdays, every Thursday. And that's it for me.
I wanted to say one thing, too, to Miss Sandra in the chat. I forgot to bring this up. I brought it up in the intro, but I want to know what she thinks about this. Where do you think it's going that Patrick Kane just bought a $2.8 million house in Illinois? I want you to answer what you think about that in the comments, because does that mean, because there is rumors out there right now that there is a little regret that he never wanted to leave Chicago. And if for some odd reason, they get that first overall pick and they get that next superstar and he comes back here next year, I ain't gonna deny that shit. No, not at all. All right, JB, you go.
Shout out to you guys, man. Way to hold it down. Again, we can never say it enough. Shout out to T-Nick's family. Much love, much prayers, much blessings going out to you, my brother, and your family. We're here. We're in full support of what you're going through. As you know, Frank, you just recently lost your father. Foulmouth has lost his dad. I have lost mine. So we are all in that boat together, and we are all here in love and support for you, T-Nick. Love you, brother. Talk to you soon. Shout out to the chat. Like, as always, it is lit. We can't do it without you guys.
Even with no Facebook stuff, we still had a very live chat, for sure.
And Stewart jumped on. Always good to see Don Burr, up and coming Detroit, Lions fan. My man Bullets, my brother from another, always checking in. Actually, Adam Dobbs. Thank you. Adam,
for sure, he let in some great insight.
But not just did he do some great insight. Adam, thank you for your service, man.
Oh, absolutely. Good call on that one.
He's a Navy man.
Absolutely.
Thank you for your service, Adam. We really appreciate that.
And also great insight, man. Like that is
wonderful. Like hey, can you do the Navy thing after the show again? Like, we'd love to have you on more, man.
For sure.
Great insight.
Yeah.
Adam. Dark Spectre always checking in when he gets a chance. Thank you for chiming in. I want to say hello to Christian Petit from Plump. Kristen came in rocking and rolling. Emilio K. Bucks, man. If you don't know, we're telling you now. Plump is the place to be for baseball.
I've been on there a few times as their guest too, man. They know.
I want to be a guest so bad, man.
If you want to go back, one of the best interviews I've ever seen in my life. is the interview with them and Ozzie Guillen's son, Oni. Check it out. It's on YouTube.
Oh, wow. That sounds fun.
Yeah. Oh, was it? Man. Go check it out, Easy. That's all I got to say.
I will. I love
I never even like blinked during that episode.
Look, I was just like, hey, shut up. What? But, shout out to those guys at Plunk, Kristen and Emilio. Shout out to Melissa May. Thank you for checking in. We appreciate the love and the respect. We do it for all kinds, sports fans, non-sports fans, people that just want to jump in and have a good time and support family and friends that you may know. And then last but not least, shout out to Miss Sandra. That's my mom's, my P1. If I know we have one person watching and one person is going to talk, it's my mom. I'll always love my mom.
Well, she could have came on the show today, man.
Hell yeah.
Hey, she can come on.
She can come on. Absolutely, she can come on.
I want my mom.
Remind me of a couple things. She might remind me of a couple things. Don't get it talking about 80s White Sox baseball with Ron Kittles and Rudy Law in there, man. We'll talk all day. We definitely will.
Well, then we'll extend the episode. Let's do it.
Yeah, but shout out to her. That's my rock, my inspiration. Love you, Ma. My aunt was watching, Auntie Marilyn Tati. Shout out to SB. Shout out to any other family I got out there watching. And, shout out to my brothers on stage, Frank, Easy. Always a pleasure, man. It's really, really great when we can come together and just chit-chat about sports and actually make it make sense.
Yeah. Yes. Completely agree.
Not the Stephen A. hot take BS, not the Nick Wright foolishness, not the Colin Cowherd. He need to, man. I tweeted him, dude, you need to be fired. Like,
oh no, he's doing his job. He's doing his job.
He's you know what he's become? A troller, right?
I told you. I posted about this.
Oh, you posted about that?
Yeah, I recently posted. He is a master troller. He is so good at it. But
share that, Easy. Make that public because I want to be a part of that thread when it comes up.
Look, it's on my Facebook page right now, but it's just and also, I mean, like, I'll just
calling them out.
It's just like he's.
Is that Thursday?
Yeah, I do that on my show.
I want it on a segment.
Hell yeah, no, that'd be great. But no, his whole thing is like, and he's got a team of writers, so like, really his staff is really good. But like the way he talks, like, and presents himself.
Well, that's how you get this show going, man.
Like the way he makes himself sound. I'm almost done. The way he makes himself sound so smart while he's just spitting total bullshit. He's a genius. He's an absolute genius, and I gotta hand it to him. I really do. And he's an idiot.
I'm gonna hand him something. All right, 5 across his lips.
I still think Nick Wright is worse than him.
Well, they neck and neck. He didn't caught up. Colin didn't caught up.
Yeah, that's
because he's saying some stuff.
So Nick's like actually bad. Colin's just yanking chain. Like he's just busting everyone's balls.
He's like,
Nick Wright just says dumb shit 24/7. Colin actually sounds good saying dumb shit. He makes himself sound good saying dumb shit.
Yeah, pretty much.
Very good, legit bullshitter.
That's what a master deceiver versus spin doctor looks like.
No, he's got a few. Like he always does say Walter Payton's the greatest running back, which I will respect him for. That's one thing. Broken clock right twice a day. That's his broken clock moment.
Look, that's one.
That's one. Yeah,
one out of 1,000,002.
Yeah.
All right. Last one. Again, deepest condolences for T Nick, man. A lot of love. It is a horrible feeling to have to go through. So I wish him nothing but the best. Wish his family nothing but the best, and hopefully he gets back on when he's ready to get back on. Other than that, chat was phenomenal. Bullets, love you to death, man. Even though I love giving you shit too, but it just so entertaining, man. So entertaining. I love it. And yeah, not kidding. Podcast mom, love to have you on one of these days, man. When next time we have like a little, I don't even care if it's the next time we have a guest appreciation. Just come on whenever you want. Like I'd just have you. I'll take you over easy any day. Like
fair. It's valid.
Yeah, that's fair. Other than that, hey, Kristen, Emilio, great having you, Emilio. Great having you on. Kristen, thank you for being on the chat. Look forward for your show to come on Sundays because I never miss those episodes. It is great baseball talk.
I love Clark, man.
Yeah,
Clark is legit. It really is.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
For sure. Other than that, yeah, there's a lot of people in the chat, so I don't want to have the violin played on me here when I
Well, I did it already, so
yeah, you pretty much did. So it's pretty much all I got. So let's leave it off with we'll finish it off with let's not forget our sponsors. Moore's
commercial.
Oh yeah, we gotta hit that. We gotta do that more in the middle of the show.
We gotta pay some bills.
Yeah, we gotta get that. And I'm actually, because I actually saw something floating around Facebook, I'm going to give another quick shout out here for End the Zone. And Emily Duddy, who is a sponsor with End the Zone. She sponsors at the World Billiards Championship, where she actually just finished 4th place in the world at billiards. So, hey, Emily, congratulations on that for sure. Other than that, let's finish it off with...
You got to decide whether you're a wolf or a sheep.
T-Nick, you're my wolf today, baby. Oh, you're my wolf.
Yeah. Oh, no question. No question about it.
This has been a Chicago Clubhouse Network production.
You're still here. It's over. Go home.
And for Foulmouth,
good night, Canada.
Look, good night.